Welcome to the Pub List. This is James.
I'm Adam.
We got a lot to talk about. We got the review, the results of Week 1 NFL, and I think
Clash of Champions this Sunday.
yes, we got predictions of Week 2, Clash of Champions this Sunday, and then of course
somebody debuts next week.
That is true.
On
TV on the USA Network.
But they're going to do it a little weird for the first week.
Are they?
Because they're going to have the first hour on USA, and then the second hour on the network. But they're just doing that because part of it is they still have some taping to use up.
Okay.
Because obviously they tape 4 weeks in advance.
Yeah.
So they still have some taping to use up, and this is the last week. They have taping they still need to use.
Gotcha.
So they're going to have to do live for the first hour, then the taping, and kind of just
and then
put
kind of transition, and then of course after that it's.
But they're not doing it as a traveling thing. They're keeping it at Full Sail.
Good.
At the Performance Center, just so they can not stress out the roster that much when they're not used to it.
Right.
And they're still going to obviously travel for the takeover events, but they're doing.
And there's actually news on that. That the Royal Rumble takeover, now that there's pretty much going to be no more takeovers. Yeah. It's going to be Worlds Collide for the Royal Rumble, and then we're going to see what happens at other.
I'm sure they'll add more takeovers because they're not going to have a live show and not do pay-per-views.
Well, no.
Unless they add them.
Well, they're probably just going to change the name of TakeOver and maybe just have all right.
Or unless they add them to the main roster pay-per-views.
Exactly.
And just have it be a huge thing.
Just have a huge event type thing, part of SummerSlam, part of
one
Money in the Bank and shit like that.
Weird thing is with the firing of Kevin Owens on SmackDown.
Yes.
He's tweeted kind of in code. I forgot what the number code was. But the code ended up being NXT.
Right, yeah, the code is that in alphabetical, it was 14, 16, and 20 or something like that.
And that was on NXT.
If you look that up, it's NXT, which is kind of interesting.
Saying he might go back there to kind of blow them up a little more. Also, right after that, he tweeted a picture of him at Disney World with his daughter, because they're back in Florida now.
Yeah.
With her holding Tommaso Ciampa's hand and saying, "My daughter and her best friend."
Which is hilarious.
And kind of another teaser to NXT that he's with
NXT
people now instead of
that he's going back to Florida and hopefully.
And if he does, it's going to be some awesome match. You do him versus Cole, versus Gargano or Velveteen Dream.
Yeah, seriously. I mean,
and kind of. I mean, I know they won't. And even on NXT, you could have him since how they are on the main roster and how they are on NXT isn't really the same because NXT breezes a little bit more like his NXT version of himself, which is more heelish. You could have Owens go back to being the heel on NXT and still be the good guy when he comes back to SmackDown.
Exactly, when he gets rehired, whatever the storyline's going to go with that. So, with that said, you just want to go straight into the predictions of Clash of Champions. Yeah, and also Monday Night Raw and SmackDown were pretty damn good.
Yeah, because that'll probably be pretty quick. And plus, we got to do the King of the Ring prediction. Because I like that they put it on Raw because there are 12 matches on Clash of Champions.
Yeah.
And that means that match would probably be really rushed.
Yeah.
Being that it's not for a title and probably wouldn't be good quality.
So the match is going to be on Raw now instead of Clash of Champions?
Yeah, but it's better for that because then they could even put it as the second hour main event.
Yeah.
And
or maybe even the main event, honest to God. And I know it's Baron Corbin versus Chad Gable, but
they could. I could see them doing that if they want to put it into some other stories too. Exactly. But yeah, I mean, because there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 matches plus whatever's on a pre-show. So if they would have put this on the main card, number one, it would probably be on pre-show, which is not what it should be.
Right.
Number two, if it was on the main card, it would probably be maybe a 4 or 5 minute match.
Yeah.
And not really put either of them over. So it's better. It is what it is on Raw.
Exactly.
And plus, it's a big week for WWE because it's that Raw that's.
We just had to go home Raw with Stone Cold come back.
Yeah,
and next week too. Yeah,
next week is kind of big.
Exactly.
It's Raw and then first NXT. Then in I think 2 more weeks you get
and then the new SmackDown,
on Fox. So it's kind of big weeks building up to
exactly
SmackDown's move, and eventually they're gonna have the draft, like which is gonna be
the draft,
a full draft. They're gonna like basically pick
who's gonna be on Raw, who's gonna be on SmackDown,
and it's gonna be
bullshit
not split. The only thing that's gonna be split is the 24/7 title and the women's tag.
Women's tag, exactly.
But
so all right,
so first match,
go straight into it.
AJ Styles versus Cedric Alexander for the U.S. title.
You know what? I'm gonna say AJ Styles because right now I feel like it was rushed. I understand that Cedric Alexander is trending up and getting a lot of reaction from backstage and of course the fans, but I just don't see a storyline. Like I would say Cedric, but only if AJ Styles is going to get in the Universal title picture. But
which he's probably not going to.
Because
you still have the 3 people.
Yes. So I'm going to go with AJ.
I say AJ, but I say he's going to win like he won versus Ricochet where the club gets involved. But by the Rumble, which continues the story,
with Cedric,
and by the Rumble or by maybe Survivor Series if he's not involved on a team.
Yeah.
Well, I could see maybe Team Cedric versus Team Club or something like that.
Yeah,
since the Club kind of aligned with Bobby Roode and Dolph Ziggler now.
Exactly.
So I could see maybe by the Rumble, Cedric gets the U.S. title.
Right.
Because they could keep this moving. Because the one thing Paul and Eric want is long building storylines, not these short, like 1 month and it's over.
Right.
Shit.
So it would make sense for AJ to win.
And then eventually by one of the bigger pay-per-views, Rumble,
possibly have Cedric
Chamber, beat him or even WrestleMania.
Yeah.
Have Cedric win the U.S. title.
Which would be fucking awesome.
Yeah. And they are really high on Cedric because he's an amazing talent.
He really is.
He's gotten good on the mic. He's someone that I think Impact really should have signed, but obviously they weren't able to.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then next match is Alexa and Nikki versus Mandy Rose and Sonya for the women's tag titles.
You know what? I feel like it'll benefit WWE more if Mandy Rose and Sonya win this match, and then Alexa and Nikki Cross kind of chase after the titles.
Yeah.
For a little bit and probably regain it back in about 2 or 3 months.
Yeah.
So I would say Sonya and Mandy.
Yeah,
Rose.
I think Sonya and Mandy are going to win. I think this may be a start of little bit of dissension in Alexa and Nikki. Because eventually, Alexa being who she is for that division, eventually Alexa's going to be back in the main title picture.
Right.
Because Alexa's too big of a star to have her stuck on. There's also rumor that she's going to be on SmackDown soon.
Yes.
When the draft happens.
Yes. So it makes sense.
So then she'd go after, say, Bayley or whoever is the champ at that time.
Exactly. And there's also been rumor. Well, we'll get to that after. Yeah.
But yeah, I think Mandy and Sonya win. I think it's going to be a big story for them too, having the title, and also both of them are on the Total Divas show, so more PR for the title.
Yeah, more PR for the title.
And the Cruiserweight title, Drew Gulak versus Humberto Carrillo versus Lince Dorado.
I'm still going to say Drew Gulak. I think he's fucking awesome.
He is.
I think they're going to keep it on him.
He is awesome, but I think Lince is going to win.
No.
Because I think, as you saw on Raw, where they're kind of separating them from the whole stupid Lucha Dragons thing and letting them be on their own.
Which is good.
And you had Montali versus Ray. And it was a really good match. And even though Ray won because Ray was going to win.
Ray's going to win.
It kind of was a great match. I think Lince wins this. And I think they're going to do this because I think both of them are probably going to re-sign again. I think Kalisto will probably go either way just because Kalisto.
Yeah.
He was great for a little while, but never really got much movement. Even when he was U.S. champ, people were like happy for it for a little while, but then they were kind of like,
"All right,
okay, this is really good."
Already, let's get this.
So I think Lince is going to win the Cruiserweight title, and then eventually the Cruiserweight title will move to NXT. And then you'll get more stuff.
Right.
Because they're going to move the whole Cruiserweight division to NXT.
And That would make
and
sense.
that's gonna be like their third title fourth with women's, with the world, the North American cruiserweight tag, and
they're thinking about doing a mid card.
Yeah.
For NXT, which would be.
Well, isn't that the North American title?
Oh yeah, no. I'm sorry. I'm thinking about NXT UK.
Yeah.
They're thinking about either bringing back the European Championship.
Yeah.
Or having like Euro Continental Championship.
Yeah. Which would be cool.
Yeah.
Then the next one, Shinsuke versus The Miz.
Shinsuke.
Yeah, Shinsuke. I don't destroy him. I think Sammy's gonna get involved.
Yeah. And I don't even see this being a long story because I honestly think who I now believe is going to be the King of the Ring, and I kind of hope it is. I think it would be a great story for Chad to go after Shinsuke's Intercontinental Championship.
Yeah.
And then have a payoff with Chad beating Shinsuke at a pay-per-view to become Intercontinental Champion.
I think that's probably most likely
win.
what's going to happen. Shinsuke is going to beat Miz. It's going to be a good match, but I think
it's going to be a great match.
Shinsuke will eventually destroy Miz.
Show stealer.
But I think Sammy's going to get involved. I think, like you said, I think Chad's going to win. I think it's going to be a build to Chad getting Intercontinental Champion.
Right.
I think also there's going to be a build to where as good as Sammy's been for Shinsuke, I think eventually Sammy will turn on him.
Yes.
Because Sammy is kind of a jackass.
Yeah. Well, that's what they said. They said that this whole thing with Sammy and Shinsuke is supposed to be like what Jericho and Owens was a few years ago.
And could eventually lead to Sammy being the Intercontinental Champion.
Exactly.
Which you could also, you don't really know if Chad's going to stay on SmackDown. Maybe Chad's payoff will be beating AJ
for the United States. And maybe
Cedric,
put that as a triple threat match of Cedric, Chad, and AJ Styles.
Yeah, and which would be a crazy match.
Yeah, that would be a lot of fun.
But yeah, I think the payoff will be eventually Chad getting one of the single mid-card titles.
Yeah.
But I don't know if it'll be Intercontinental because I think Sammy's going to end up winning
Sammy would get that storyline because they already got that storyline going.
Yeah. And the New Day versus the Revival.
See, the tag titles just go back and forth all over the fucking place.
But this one, I still think it's the Revival.
I'm going to say the Revival, too.
And I think they're going to actually keep these ones for a while when they do win them.
I think so, too.
They, even though Xavier and Big E weren't on SmackDown, New Day was perceived to be stronger because of the beatdown Kofi gave Orton.
Right.
So New Day looked stronger. And generally what happens, the person who looks stronger going into the pay-per-view ends up losing their match.
Oh, yes.
So I think the Revival ends up winning.
Oh, boy.
And then Seth and Baron versus Dolph and Robert for the tag titles, probably Rude and...
I'm going to go with Dolph and Rude, because there's just going to be more build-up for the storyline between Braun Strowman and Seth Rollins that night.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go with Rude and Ziggler. It seems like the safe bet.
Yeah.
And they sort of... I don't know what they're going to do with that tag team, but okay.
Well, eventually they'll...
And the craziest thing is, that's all Paul Heyman.
Yeah.
Paul Heyman was the reason why he's like, because he loves Rude. He loves
Bobby and he likes Dolph.
Right.
And they weren't doing anything, so
he's like, well, let's put tag titles.
I think they're going to have titles, but eventually they're going to lose it to the Authors of Pain when
down
they
the road.
come back.
Yeah, exactly.
Then the next match, Bayley versus Charlotte. With her new turn, I think Bayley is going to
keep it would be such a waste after the new turn that Bayley doesn't win this match. Bayley needs to win this match.
Roman versus Eric.
I hate to say it, Roman.
I think Eric Rowan.
I really hope so. I hope it's going to be Eric Rowan.
I think Rowan, but I think if Rowan wins, someone gets involved. Either Daniel or Bray.
No, Bray will not get involved.
Or someone's going to get involved and help. Or even if it's not Bray, maybe Harper, maybe Liv comes out as Abby.
I don't know.
Kind of momentarily, like something weird. But that's
I feel like it's
going to be
that. Yeah, but I feel like it's going to be more of a Daniel Bryan comes in and
just attacks both of them.
Yeah, and attacks both of them.
Then
sets up a triple threat.
Then Roman throws out Brian Rowan turns around, does the claw slam,
And then
and Rowan gets the win. Yeah.
I hope so,
Then
but I feel like it's a little.
Kofi versus Orton.
Here you go.
Yeah. This
Here
one's
you
gonna be
go.
Orton.
Bye, Orton. But
Bye
here,
bye Kofi.
yeah. Bye, Kofi.
This is gonna be
Randy
Orton.
Orton is winning this match, but there are rumors that at Hell in a Cell, it will be a Hell in a Cell match of Kofi versus Randy.
But that
Would this
happens
be
with
the-
Orton winning and Kofi's rematch. It wouldn't happen with Kofi beating Orton for a second time.
That's true.
Because if he beats him for a second time,
It should be over.
then that's the
Storyline should be
decisive
done.
end of the rivalry. Kofi's obviously higher.
Yeah.
Orton's done.
Yeah.
But if Orton beats him, and Orton beats him in an Orton way, which could be a revival getting involved, and New Day getting involved in just a huge brawl, I think Orton wins.
I think so
I think
too.
he beats him in the
I'm throwing
rematch.
Randy. Yeah.
I think he keeps it.
And he keeps it until.
Because honestly,
Until
like
WrestleMania
Kofi's
season.
been fun as champion, but if I'm building SmackDown for Fox, I want Randy Orton as my face. I
agree.
want Randy Orton front and center
As
the poster child for that show, because as fun as Kofi is, Orton puts more
brings-
people in the
yeah,
seats.
exactly.
Orton is kind of
So
the
yeah, no, you're
prototypical
right.
champion. He's
Yeah.
amazing in the ring. He looks great with the title. He looks
Exactly.
great. Anyways, I think
He's gonna
just-
attract more people
Yeah.
to watch. So no,
and
you're
you
right.
put him on
And
the
he's-
commercials with the title. Even people who don't watch wrestling, maybe even some women, will see Orton with the title and be like,
Hey,
okay, maybe
all right,
I'll look in
there you
and
go.
like kind of, because that's what marketing is.
That's what marketing is. And going into a new contract with a new show or whatever, you want that. So yes, Randy Orton wins this match.
Then
Randy
Becky
Orton.
Lynch versus the Boss.
I feel the same way about this one. There's been rumors that Becky Lynch is going to SmackDown.
Yeah.
There's already, they saw, Fox advertisement shows, Becky Lynch in it. So I'm totally saying the Boss.
Yeah, I think
The
Sasha
Boss is
will-
winning this match. So then Becky will go to SmackDown when he
Challenge
when
Bayley.
he challenges Bailey, and then have maybe Alexa Bliss in the middle of it too. I just feel like Sasha Banks coming in hot.
She signed her
with the
extension.
return,
Signed her
extension. She's getting a long SmackDown, long
Long-
Raw women's
Which
championship
is what she should have had when she won the title, but it was always back and forth
between her
between
and
her
Charlotte.
and Charlotte and
Yes.
her and Alexa and her and everyone else.
So yeah,
But
this
I think
is
Sasha
Banks.
wins. I
Oh
think
yeah.
she keeps it for a while. I think
And the whole Becky Lynch thing, I love her. I love Becky Lynch. She's an amazing character.
which is
But
more
it's
fun
time.
when she chases the title than she is as champion.
She's also a lot of fun when she is champion in the beginning, but it's been since WrestleMania.
Yeah, and it's
time.
Yeah,
It's
time.
time.
For it to-
And
if
it's the same and same for Kofi.
Yeah,
It's time. It's time for both to lose their titles, chase it, and unfortunately for Kofi, he'll go back down to mid card.
maybe
and-
get an Intercontinental.
Yeah,
eventually, maybe
2-3
do something
times
else.
or whatever.
Maybe
But I don't think Kofi is going to be in the main card for long. Lynch will.
Yeah,
Becky Lynch will stay there and become multiple champion, a lot. But
it'll probably be
it's-
on SmackDown.
Yeah, and it's time for Sasha to get the title.
Yeah. Then the main event, Seth versus Braun, with most likely the Fiend getting involved.
I feel like they're saving the Fiend versus Braun Strowman for Royal Rumble or even WrestleMania. I don't think it would be fair for Braun to win this match and then lose it in a month.
No.
He would just be a transition champion.
But I
You
do
need
think it
Seth
could be a
Rollins to
triple
win this
threat.
At Hell in a Cell?
Yeah.
Ooh, that would actually be interesting. And then, like you said, the Fiend doesn't get the pin, but he's
Well, no,
out.
I think
Or-
the Fiend wins still.
Yeah. but maybe
Or-
pins
Pins
Strowman?
Rob, yeah. And then
then
Strowman
maybe
moves into
Yeah.
the title, and because there's also rumors that Seth might go to SmackDown.
That would be interesting. But yeah, I'm going with Rollins in this match.
Sure.
Rollins in this match, he keeps the Universal Championship, and I do believe we will see a Fiend.
Either he gets involved in the
Fiend
match
appearance.
or he just attacks whoever wins. One way or another, the Fiend's going to be involved.
Yes.
Then,
I agree.
obviously, we both said who we think's going to win in King of the Ring. Most
Chad
likely it's
Gable.
gonna be Chad.
And you know what? I'm okay with it now. They've done enough
to make Chad believable.
To make him exactly.
Card
in the very beginning of the King of the Ring, we were both like, "Are you fucking kidding? This is a joke."
Yeah.
But now they've done enough promos
and they've done enough of him beating him down, and that's kind of like I don't know if you remember this, but that's kind of how they built up and made MVP a face.
Yeah,
years ago was he kept
that.
losing and then people beat him down saying like he's a joke and he's nothing and blah blah blah. They're kind of did the same with Chad,
right?
Like made fun of how like he's a little guy and all this, and now he's beating everyone. He made Shane eventually tap to the
ankle
lock.
That's right, Chad. The Gable lock, not the angle lock anymore. It's the Gable lock.
But I did like that it was the leg whip one where
where he went down, kind of like Kurt Angle did. So yeah,
because Kurt was the only one who did that version of the whole with the leg wrapped around it and pulling.
So I feel like Chad Gable is now going to be what Jason Jordan was supposed to be.
And I feel bad for Jordan.
I do
obviously
too.
He's hurt and can't do anything, but
it is what it is. Giving Gable that type of push.
And I think. Like I was talking to you about this before, I was saying, like he needs a different move, and I was saying maybe the angle slam or the ankle lock.
And the ankle lock came in. And then he did it last night. Like you literally said it like 24 hours before, you know, and boom, there you go. He's got the fucking ankle lock.
And I also think he wins on Raw, but I think a way he may win on Raw, maybe Kurt involved.
I'm kind of thinking about that.
Because Baron is the person who retired Kurt and fucked him over.
Oh my god.
So Kurt could come back and just be like, hey, fuck you.
Referee's out, angle slam, and then Gable puts the ankle lock on.
And like Kurt's just calling him to put it on and like just cheering him on. And
I can honestly see Kurt Angle become the manager of Chad Gable.
Yeah.
I could honestly see that.
Because originally, the plan for American Alpha
was for Kurt
to be the manager and that to be a new Team Angle.
Right.
But it just never happened because
Angle wanted he wanted to keep wrestling himself.
Yeah.
So why? I mean, yeah, you could have a faction, but he wanted to do his own thing. So now,
I think he screws over Baron.
That would be perfect.
And then maybe at the Rumble, Baron versus Angle again. This time
Angle wins. I can see that. I like it. I like it a lot.
I think Chad wins. I think Angle gets involved somehow just to fuck over Baron.
That'd be great. Oh my god, I would love to see Kurt Angle as the manager of Chad Gable.
Yeah,
that'd be great. That would really boost Chad Gable up a lot, and up to a upper mid carder and possibly a multiple Intercontinental or United States champion.
Yeah, and it's going to be good for Chad. I think the other reason I think he wins is they've tried all of this stuff with Baron being the big deal, with him being the U.S. champion, Intercontinental champion, Money in the Bank, and everything else, and it just doesn't work.
Ever since he lost the Money in the Bank match, when he got screwed over on that, he's just gone downhill. Like, he was really high up there, and I was high on him too. I loved it. I wanted Corbin to become the WWE champion so badly. So badly, but it just went straight downhill for him after John Cena fucked him over.
Yeah, but he did. Yeah. Cena did the same thing to Damien Sandow. It just happens.
It just happens.
And I like the only thing I was kind of disappointed at with this week's programming was there was no attack of Austin with the Fiend or Undertaker with the Fiend.
It was interesting because all he did was tease the fuck out of both of it. But with his Twitters about the rattlesnake and all that shit.
He's just a little rattlesnake.
Yeah,
there's nothing
exactly.
And then the clock was
3:16.
Then 11:19,
which was the debut of Undertaker in 1990.
Yeah.
And then it's like, oh, is he going to attack either one? And
he doesn't, and it's just kind of a mind fuck.
And I like that in a way. It's like, because it's like, all right, he's gonna attack Austin. All right, he's gonna attack Taker. But like you said,
but what he actually did after the show
yes,
was beat the fuck out of Bo Dallas.
Yes, he beat the fuck out of.
But what was good was he did the Sister Abigail.
Yeah.
So he's still doing it.
To Axel,
and then he did the claw to his brother.
To his brother. Yeah, they did. He had a dark match, and it was a handicap match.
Yeah.
And it was just to show how fucking powerful and how strong the Fiend is.
I don't know if it was even a match. I think he just like there was a ref involved, but I don't know if it was like a legit match or not. But yeah, he set the Sister Abigail, which they're probably gonna rename to something else.
Right.
And then he did the claw. I think honestly, like I said before, I think he's gonna use a Sister Abigail to set up the claw.
I feel like
I think he's gonna either do the Abigail, then when he's on the ground, he's just gonna put the claw in and just like kind of torture him with it.
Exactly, and make him pass out and
kind of like, I don't know if you remember this, but when Kane came back from having when he had the mask again, where he was doing the choke slam and he was doing
yes,
and he sometimes did that where he choke slam him and then he just
like
suffocate him with the glove and have that. I think Bray's going to do something like that with
Sister
Abigail into the claw, or if he could and he's even been working on a version of trying to do it with one into the, like either doing that or just doing the snap into the claw. And I honestly, Bray one way or the other is getting the title again.
Yes,
and he's going to have
it's going to be a long run,
like a CM Punk long run.
Yes, and hopefully even past WrestleMania. Hopefully it's going to go into next summer. Like the Fiend needs to be champion.
He will,
for
and
a very long time.
They did make a custom championship for him already.
Yeah, they did.
So it's gonna. I think
it's hopefully gonna happen.
Yeah, it's gonna. It will. I mean,
I think so too.
And if he doesn't win right away, it's going to be obviously, I think it's going to be a triple threat one way or another. Maybe
Strowman, Seth Rollins, and Wyatt.
Yeah,
Hell in a Cell.
Yeah, and maybe Strowman beats Seth, and then Bray beats Strowman. Something else, but one way or another, Bray is getting that title, and he's going to be a monstrous champion, and he's gonna.
And no one's gonna take.
And it's not going to be like there have been some of those monstrous runs where it's been a monstrous run, but it's been with a person who people have gotten sick of, like with Brock or with Seth or with Dean or with anyone else.
Roman Reigns.
Yeah, but
even though he really didn't have titles.
But I think with Bray, the fact that he can do this thing where he just kind of disappears for a while.
Right, but at least you have his Firefly Funhouse on at least once a week.
And you could have the title in there. Yeah. You could just have the belt.
I mean, it's perfect.
And one day it could be like sitting by Abby or sitting on Rabbit.
Mercy. Yeah, sitting on Railing Rabbit or, or
by the box with maybe Mercy trying to eat it.
Exactly. I mean, you can have so many endless possibilities. I'm excited.
Yeah.
I'm excited for the Fiend. It's so great. I love it.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, he's got to win.
He's got
one way or another, and they love him, so it's gonna happen. But now into your horrible Lions pick, or your horrible Bears pick.
Let's start on Thursday Night Football. Let's start with our Bears. Well, not our Bears, but our Packers and the Bears. Both offenses looked horrendous.
Yeah,
I understand it's the first week, first week of the season, and it happens. Yeah. And I think both offenses are going to be better. But
I don't think the Bears will be.
I do. I think they
Mitch
are.
Isn't a good quarterback.
Yes, he is.
No, he isn't.
Yes, he is.
You keep thinking he is, but
because
he's not.
I seriously believe this Packers defense is a top 10.
I think it's good, but it's also good. Like
Savage is insane.
Yeah, he is. But if you look at Mitch, this isn't a 1 week thing. This has been going on since week 6 of last year, where he's been bad, where he's missed easy throws, where he's missed wide open people, where he's just stared down Allen Robinson.
Yeah.
Without Trey Burton as a number 2.
Yeah.
obviously Gabriel.
Well, yeah, Trey Burton is like, I don't want to play today.
Obviously, Gabriel and Anthony Miller were nowhere to be seen.
Well, yeah, because our secondary fucking blanketed the fuck out of it.
Yeah, but I don't think Mitch is a good quarterback.
I think he is. I think he still will be.
And I still don't think he's worthy of that pick.
No, I don't either. I honestly don't.
When you see the other quarterbacks who were taken,
Deshaun Watson,
and Mahomes. I mean, obviously, it wasn't going to be Mahomes there.
No,
because it never was going to be. But it could have been Deshaun.
Agreed.
And that would have been a better pick.
Yeah. No,
because
you're right.
Deshaun is a way better quarterback.
And it showed on Monday Night Football.
Because Deshaun
Watson is awesome. He's a beast. Yeah. Deshaun Watson is awesome. I love Deshaun Watson. Yeah, like that Monday night game with New Orleans and Houston was insane.
Yeah.
And the refs almost fucked over New Orleans again.
Yeah. Even though New Orleans still ended up winning.
Somehow with a 58-yarder with Will Lutz. It was insane. What a great game. I watched it at work. It was fucking awesome. The game after that was not fucking awesome, and I was not happy with it.
With the Raiders.
My Joe Flacco Broncos.
Yeah.
Against the fucking Raiders.
Yep.
Derek Carr looked good.
Yeah.
And you know what? Denver's defense is really good. And Derek Carr looked actually surprisingly really good.
And the Raiders defense looked good, too.
Well, it was against Joe Flacco.
Yeah. That's your boy, though.
I know. But mind you, you did win last week 10-8.
Yep.
You got 10 right, I did 8.
And we both tied.
Because
we both picked someone else in Detroit.
I picked Denver. I picked Denver. You picked Oakland.
But also Arizona and Detroit, we didn't get anything.
Yeah, because they tied. They fucking tied. Detroit had like a 20-point lead or 21-6 or some bullshit in the fourth quarter. And what did the Lions do? My father says it the best. My father always says it the best about the Lions. They could fuck up a one-car funeral. And they did. Again.
But you still picked them.
I did.
Because, like I said,
I did.
It's because you've gotten soft, because you live with a fucking
Lions. No, it's because they have the team.
No, they don't. Yes. No, they don't. Obviously, they don't. If they can't hold a 20-point lead with like 10 minutes to go.
That's Patricia's fault. That's not the team.
He's part of the fucking team.
I can't believe it.
I can. It's what they do. I can't believe they didn't actually lose. But
Kyler Murray looked great in the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
He looked like a rookie quarterback. He was dumbfounded for the first 3 quarters. And then he came out. I was like, you know what? I got this.
Yeah.
Arizona, you're getting a tie.
Yeah.
Rams, Carolina, just the normal Rams beating the Carolina Panthers.
Because Carolina sucks.
Cleveland.
Yeah.
Talking about the Lions lioning, the Browns browned.
Yeah.
The Titans defense always looks good. They always come to play against the high-powered offenses and somehow win games. Last year they destroyed the New England Patriots. And I still think Cleveland's still going to be a good team. And Tennessee's still going to be just one of those 9-7.
That's one of the ones I got right.
What?
Yeah,
you did. You got Tennessee. I don't know why you picked Jacksonville, but
just because it was something.
Or no, wait. Is that a KC that you did? No,
yeah, I did pick the Chiefs.
Yeah, you did. So that's 11. Whoopsies. There we go.
But yeah, that game was just brutal. The Titans just fucking stop you. And
Minnesota looks awesome.
Yeah.
Or does Atlanta look bad? What is it?
I think Atlanta looks bad, and I also think the game plan the Vikings used
was perfect.
No, it was. But they're not going to be able to do that against the Bears, against the Packers, even against the Lions.
Maybe against the
against the worst teams, they'll be able to. But if they're
against bad teams with the mediocre
front if their plan is to do that against the Packers, where they're just going to run 50 times and have him throw 10 times, that's not going to work.
Yeah, you're right. It's not going to work. Yeah, Kirk Cousins only threw it 10 times.
Yeah, and that's not. And what they also did the whole kind of Bears defense thing where they relied on a turnover.
Right.
And if that doesn't happen, they destroyed the Atlanta, but I also think Atlanta hasn't been good since that Super Bowl.
Yeah, you're right.
Since they lost Shanahan, McVay, and LaFleur as their offensive minds, they have fallen apart. Where I don't know how it's so hard to figure out an offense. You have Julio fucking Jones, Austin Hooper, Sanu, and Matt Ryan. Just air raid it and fucking throw. It's not that hard.
Also Calvin Ridley.
Yeah. Just throw the fucking ball.
It's like, do what Drew Brees does and fucking air that motherfucker out. You have a wide receiver core that's insane.
And you have a quarterback that is insane too. Matt Ryan is
good. He is really good. He's really, really good. But
I think the big thing with them is, number one, losing Coleman, even though Coleman did get hurt this week, but he'll be back. And having to rely on Freeman too much. And Freeman
that's going to hurt them.
That's
going to hurt them a lot this year.
Because Freeman will get hurt again, because that's what Freeman does.
Who is their backup running back?
Ito Smith.
Oh, yeah, that's right. It's Ito Smith. Yeah, good luck with that.
But, yeah, I think it's both. The Vikings, obviously their defense is that good.
Yes.
But I don't think their offense is.
Yeah, it was kind of a flukish. Dalvin Cook is good, but he's not.
Yeah, and I get it. I don't trust their offense to be able to up and down on any other team but what because that's another thing with the Falcons defense. They kind of had the super quick decline where everyone saw the Legion of Boom decline kind of slowly, gradually happening.
Yeah.
But it just happened quick with the Falcons because they had more injuries.
Yeah, they did.
And because Vic Beasley didn't develop like he was supposed to into the elite pass rusher he was supposed to be. And Jones got hurt, Keanu Neal got hurt when that slowed their progression. I just think it's their defense not being what it's supposed to be. And honestly, I don't think they ever got over the Super Bowl.
You're probably right.
They just never got over the fact that they couldn't do it.
Yeah, 3 years ago, after having such a huge lead,
and even
of Atlanta,
and even
that aura now,
and even before that, where they just fucking completely dismantled the Packers in the NFC title game.
Yeah, they did. Yeah. They destroyed us.
Where I think it was like 42-7 or like 14 or something.
Exactly, like they killed the fuck out of us, and now ever since after the Patriots game, they've been very inconsistent.
Not even inconsistent. Their offense has been non-existent. Like they just can't run an offense since they lost Shanahan.
Yeah.
Like they've tried Spurrier, they tried Sarkisian, they tried a bunch of other random college coaches.
Right.
But I just think, honestly, their biggest mistake was letting Shanahan go. They really should have just fired whoever their head coach is
and then
just promoted Shanahan.
I agree.
And just let him keep running that offense. And then they probably would still be really good. But now it's just a train wreck. And if the Panthers weren't in that division, I'd say they'd be the worst team in the division. But the Panthers do exist. Somehow.
And that's not good. Speaking of train wrecks, do you know how much shit has changed since our last show about one man? This is how much shit has changed since we did our last show last Wednesday. Antonio Brown was still on the Raiders, and he wasn't. There was just a little bit of talk about maybe a suspension. I don't even think that yet.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the suspension was starting to think about it.
So, hold on. Since our last show, a week ago, Antonio Brown gets fined.
Yeah.
Antonio Brown gets into a fight with the owner with the Raiders.
No, the GM.
The GM.
And he tweets about the fines.
About the fines. Then...
And he tries to make himself the victim, tweeting about the fines. When everyone responded, you should have been fined. You didn't fucking show up to work.
Then... There was talk about him being suspended,
and
then not getting his $30 million guaranteed.
But he didn't get it anyways because they cut him.
Then it went to the next day, like, no, he's not getting suspended.
And he's going to play on Monday.
He'll play Monday.
And then it was
to another fight.
Then it was Mayock being fuck you, you're cut.
And then, after he got fined again, then he got cut. Then he became then 4 hours after he got released, he comes on the Patriots.
Which everyone kind of saw coming.
Everybody saw that coming and thought it was, just planned and all that shit.
Which I still think it was.
I think so, too. To all of a sudden, there are rape allegations against him.
Yeah.
All in 1 week.
Yeah.
What in the fuck is going on?
Yeah, and I don't mean
he's our douche. Honestly, he's our douche of the week.
Honestly, I don't mean to laugh in this situation because it is a terrible thing that he did.
Yes,
potentially did, but
allegedly, we don't know.
If you look at some of those text messages,
oh my god,
it does seem like it may. And now the Pittsburgh DA is considering following more criminal charges against Brown.
Jesus.
And also, obviously,
if this is all true, he should be suspended for the whole year.
But he won't be. He won't be because number one, number one, the team he's on. Number two, he's a star player. Yep. It's maybe he'll get a 4 or 5 game suspension. That'll be it.
Which is bullshit. But it is
because you saw how long it took Goodell to react to the Ray Rice stuff.
And he didn't do anything until
after
there was when there was evidence, when there was video evidence. And I was like, well, now we can do it.
Yeah.
But when you don't have video evidence, the NFL doesn't give a fuck.
And that's that's why they're also kind of my douche too, is their whole bullshit of saying, oh, we're gonna investigate the matter too. The NFL can't investigate shit because they don't have authority to investigate shit because they're not a fucking police department.
You're right.
They can't investigate anything because they have no legal right to investigate anything. No. But they're like, oh, we're going to investigate. We're going to look into it. No, you're not.
Okay, yeah. Go get, Dr. Watson or something like that. You fucking chooch. So, all of that, all in 1 fucking week.
Yeah.
And now, let's see what this week brings. And this week brings, for at least,
tomorrow,
Carolina. Of week 2.
Yep.
Oh boy, this is gonna be a shit show.
Yep.
Tampa Bay at Carolina.
Tampa.
Oh boy, I got Carolina. I'm going with.
I think Tampa will be better than. Obviously, they can't be worse.
Carolina has a better quarterback. I think they're gonna get it. Jameis Winston's done after this year. If he can't bring Tampa Bay to a playoff game, Jameis Winston is they're gonna get a fucking quarterback in the draft.
Yeah.
Minnesota or Green Bay?
Packers.
I'm going Minnesota. I'm sorry. I still don't believe.
I'm not because
I don't believe in the Packers.
Each time you pick against the Packers end up winning. Unless you
I hope they
last
win.
Year too.
I hope they win.
Every time you pick against them, they end up winning.
I hope they win, but I don't know. I don't believe in Green Bay's running game, and I think Minnesota's defense is gonna. We're not gonna be held to 10 points. I think it's gonna be like a 24-20 type game.
I think it'll be like maybe 28-21, 28-14. I don't think the Vikings offense is going to be able to do what they did against the Falcons, where they just won it 100 times. And if you make Kirk Cousins throw
the ball,
you have a very good shot. Get turnovers. It kind of like what happened when you forced Mitch Trubisky to throw more. Right. You get turnovers.
And this time, we don't have Clay Matthews to have one of those phantom roughing the passer balls. So, I'm still going to go with Minnesota, but I would not be surprised if Green Bay wins. Arizona at Baltimore.
Baltimore?
Yeah, I got Baltimore.
Jackson looked pretty good, didn't he? Lamar looked pretty good, didn't he?
Not bad for running back. Yes, he looked good. But you know what? It was against the Miami defense. Even Alabama has a better defense than Miami.
No matter who it was against, he still only threw 2 incompletions and 5 touchdowns and no picks.
Yeah.
And he didn't even run.
I know. That's the fucked up thing. He didn't even run.
Like, he didn't even leave the pocket at all. He just...
Hollywood Brown is awesome.
Yeah.
He's a great he's a great rookie wide receiver. He's
and
gonna be
Andrews look good for their tight end.
Yeah, and I was talking all this shit about Baltimore not having a wide receiver core. I mean, I still think it's not that
it's
deep.
It's not a good core, but
you got that rookie Marquise Brown. So if he's going to be as good as he was this past Sunday.
Is a good tight end. Ingram is a good enough running back. Yeah. And Lamar obviously is a lot better than you think he is.
I guess so.
And Joe Flacco is a lot worse than you think he was.
Yeah, I think it's time for old Joe to hang it up.
I think it was time for old Joe to hang it up a few years ago.
Damn it. Frisco at Cincinnati.
I think San Francisco, but I wouldn't be surprised if the Bengals somehow win just because their offense did look a lot better.
That's what I'm going to say, and I'm going with Cincinnati. I feel like Cincinnati at home is going to be enough for them to
Niners,
eke out a win.
I like
the Niners.
I think they're a good team. Better than what Cincinnati went against the week before. So I think they could slow them down a little bit more. And I think with a week of tape on this, I just don't trust that Dalton could put 2 good weeks in a row.
I think he can.
Because that's kind of his thing. Where he has one really, really good week, then one really, really bad week, and then one really...
Frisco's defense looks good.
And that's also their recipe for 8-8.
Yeah.
Which is what the Bengals usually are.
But Cincinnati didn't win last week, so that means they're going to win this week.
No, but he did look amazing last week.
Against Seattle. Yeah. In Seattle, mind you.
Yeah.
So, no, I understand, but I think, I don't know.
I just feel like the Niners defense will be able to slow down whatever that is. And I also think Jimmy Garoppolo will have a good game.
Oh, it's going to be a fun game. I think it's going to be a fun game.
It's not going to be a blowout either way. But,
yes. It's going to be at least it's going to be a one possession game. The Chargers at Detroit.
Chargers?
Yeah, I'm going Chargers.
Oh, you're not going to go your Detroit pick again?
No, I'm not. Not this time. I don't think the Chargers are going to win this game. I mean, Detroit's going to win this game. After just blowing that lead, I think the Chargers are going to come in and just wipe the fucking floor. You know what? No. I'm going to say it's a barn burner. I'm going to say like 37-31 with the Chargers winning. And probably even in overtime. Fuck it. Overtime win. 37.
Another time. Wouldn't it be great if somehow they were the first 0-16 team? Wouldn't it be great if they were the first 0-16 team? Even if that meant the Packers and Bears both had to tie them twice. But wouldn't that just be amazing?
That would be insane. To have the Lions go 0-16. Now, here's the thing. If you're 0-16, that means you have a 500 record. It's like 8-8, right?
Yeah.
So you can still make the playoffs if the NFC is terrible enough, right?
If not, you could also have a pick still in like the top 10 instead of number 1.
I guess so. Oh my God, the Lions! You guys make me look bad. Jacksonville at Houston.
As much as I love white trash Minshew.
I love Minshew. Minshew is awesome. Gardner Minshew. You know what?
I won a Super Bowl with him in Madden.
What?
I won a Super Bowl with him in Madden.
How?
I don't know, but I remember doing it.
You know what? Just for this week, not only are we going to have Douche of the Week, but we're going to have Bro of the Week. And the bro of the
not
week,
Matt Riddle. It's gotta be.
It's gotta be Gardner Minshew. This dude is a bro. This guy gives no fucks at all. And what a mustache on that man.
I dance when there's music.
Yeah, what else did he say? He said, oh my God. Yeah, his Twitter was so fucking funny. It was, oh my God, I gotta look this up. Oh my God, where the fuck are you? There we are. Boom. Gardner Minshew put down on his Twitter, and I don't scratch my head unless it itches, and I don't dance unless I hear some music. I will not be intimidated. That's just the way it is. Hashtag, let's go to work.
And then it also,
Look at this man. Look at this man. What a fucking bro. I love him.
And he also said
I love him.
he works out in the locker room in just a jock strap and sunglasses.
He does it.
Sometimes naked.
He gets the armbands and just starts doing that.
And just sunglasses, a jock strap, or sometimes naked.
Unfucking believable. This man.
I say he should win MVP just for being amazing.
He looked good.
Yeah.
He actually looked good.
I think he should
against Kansas City's defense. Well,
I mean, that's not a defense, but
yeah, you're right.
But I think he should win MVP. They should just make a most valuable bro category of MVP and just give it to him every year.
The MVB. I got Houston though.
Yeah, Houston's probably gonna win, but their Jags offense will probably be better than it would have been under Foles.
I think Jags defense will be a lot better this week than last week. But yeah, I like Nick Foles. It just sucks that he's out.
Isn't it weird that he got hurt before once?
Yes. Very. I don't know.
That he was always the insurance like for once.
Right.
And then he got
now
hurt
fucking he gets injured. What the fuck? Oh, okay. So
but this is what happens when he's the number one.
Yeah.
Because he's not a number one quarterback.
No,
he's
he's
a
not.
good backup.
But he's a Super Bowl winning quarterback.
But so was Eli.
And Joe Flacco.
And Jim McMahon won too.
He did. He did.
And Rexo Grossman almost won one.
Thank God he didn't.
That would have been funny.
That would have been terrible.
That would have been funny though. Because then they would have said that he's the greatest quarterback. I mean, he's still better than Trubisky, so.
I don't think so.
Yes, he is.
New England and Miami. Wow, you're really
probably New England because Miami's defense is just awful. But if their defense was halfway decent, I'd say Miami.
Really?
Yeah.
I think New England's gonna win 49-0.
That's what I'm saying. If their defense was halfway decent.
Well, they traded everybody away.
Yeah.
That's why.
And now more players are asking.
I know. Oh, that team is going to be disintegrated by the time
week 4.
Yeah, by the time the trade deadline is up. Buffalo at the Giants.
Buffalo. Let's do it. Buffalo.
Hey, Chris, you're on the pup list.
Oh God.
You wanna do some picks with Adam and I? You're on speaker.
Sure, why not?
Tampa Bay at Carolina.
What's the line?
Just fucking pick a winner. This is why we don't
Carolina. Is it at Carolina?
Yes.
Carolina.
All right, Minnesota at Green Bay.
Vikings.
Green Bay.
Wow.
Wow. I'm the only one that said Minnesota. Arizona at Baltimore.
Don't feel bad. He also picked Detroit last week.
Wait a minute, what?
Don't worry about it. Arizona at Baltimore.
I know that's what I was trying to get. Arizona and Baltimore. Baltimore's going to destroy Arizona.
All right. San Francisco at Cincinnati.
San Fran and Cincinnati.
Niners.
I'm going to go with Max Floyd.
Oh, Jimmy G and the Frisco Niners.
Yeah.
All right. Chargers at Lions.
This is going to be
Chargers.
It's going to be a train wreck for the
Oh,
Lions.
that's gonna be a huge train wreck for the Lions. Jacksonville at Houston.
That's a toss-up. I'll go with, where is it playing?
Houston.
Houston.
Yeah. New England at Miami.
Is there a mercy rule in the NFL?
I wish there was.
You know what?
What? You know you're going New England.
England.
Yeah.
I want to go with the shocker, but I just don't.
That's what I did last week. I picked all upsets.
Pretty much.
By the way, the reason why I was calling, I wanted to find out if you heard.
What?
Did you read the latest?
Latest what?
Oh, you didn't see the email, did you?
Yeah, we saw the
Yeah.
we saw the text
Yeah,
messages
yeah.
of Antonio
Yeah.
Brown. We saw that.
Antonio Brown is
Not in this league, he's not.
No. Not in this league. As Adam and I are saying, you know what?
He's a Patriot. He's a star. Goodell will wait till week 6 to do anything.
Goodell will wait until next year to do anything.
What's up?
Goodell doesn't care.
Goodell doesn't care. Goodell's not going to do shit about it. AB's going to play no matter what. And because here's the ironic thing. Antonio Brown has a 1-year contract with New England. After that contract is up, then he'll be suspended.
Want to make a bet?
No, but
Okay.
but I feel
I don't agree with you. I don't agree with you. I also love the fact that Belichick's dead because he has to ask questions about it. He's getting upset at reporters. Like, what the fuck do you think the reporter's going to ask about?
He always gets upset at reporters.
yeah, he always gets upset.
Oh, yeah. They really want to know about your game plan for this Sunday. Are you really that stupid?
You don't have to have a game plan against Miami.
Yeah, there's no game plan against Miami. It's just
I know, exactly.
let Tom Brady be Tom Brady.
Exactly. So why is he getting upset that they want to fucking know about what's going on with Antonio Brown? Oh yeah, and by the way, he's sleeping at Tom Brady's house.
That's right. Antonio Brown is sleeping at Tom Brady's house. That's hilarious.
Did you see the memes?
I'd keep his wife locked in a different room.
Oh yeah, I'd keep the I'd keep the white.
Giselle's got to stay at her parents.
Yep.
Did you see that latest meme that showed Tom Brady hugging Antonio Brown, and it shows him and whispering in his ear saying, "Hey, can I get my house key back?"
Can I get my house key? That's funny. That's funny. All right, Chris. Talk to you later.
Later.
Well, that was fun. All right, so back to Buffalo at Giants.
Buffalo.
I feel like Buffalo too. I think the Giants suck. And I know I said that they're going to go 8-8.
Yep.
And, well, maybe that's not going to happen.
The Lions
Unless
probably
Dallas
aren't going to
is
make the playoffs.
Huh?
The Lions probably aren't going to make the playoffs.
Maybe. Seattle at Pittsburgh.
I mean, they both looked awful last week, but
Seattle still won.
yeah, I think Pittsburgh's got to look better this week than they did last week.
They have to.
Probably
After that
Pittsburgh.
I have Seattle. I think Seattle's going to be okay.
If it was in Seattle,
I'd
I'd probably pick Seattle,
but it's in Pittsburgh.
I think
It's at
they
home.
bounce back. I think they got to have a better game than whatever the fuck that was last week. I think Connor's gonna do better. I like Seattle. I just don't know if their defense is gonna gel as quickly as I kind of expected them to.
Yeah.
And
Jesus.
they got to have a bounce back week, I think.
I am looking at this and I have some really scary things. Okay, I'll say afterwards.
Yeah.
Indianapolis at Tennessee.
Tennessee. Let's go Titans. 2-0.
I feel like Indianapolis has a good shot at this. I don't know. Like we just said, Tennessee is like their defense shows up against high-powered offenses, and then they shit the bed against.
But their
not so-
offense looked really good.
But it's still Jacoby Brissett. I think they're.
No, I'm
like,
saying
it's
Tennessee.
Jacoby." Oh yeah, well Tennessee did. Yeah, Marcus Mariota looks really good. I don't know. I'm gonna go with Indianapolis. Dallas at Washington.
Dallas.
I feel that too. Dallas is a force to be reckoned with.
I
they're
think
gonna
until they
destroy
put
Washington.
Haskins in, Washington's going to lose.
I agree. Kansas City at Oakland.
Should be Kansas, but I'll say Oakland. Fuck it.
Wow! You're going with Oakland, going 2-0 to start the season. I got Kansas City. I mean, that's you would think it's a no-brainer, but we don't know these days. Chicago at Denver.
Denver. Von Miller and Chubb are going to eat Trubisky.
I got Chicago, but yeah, I think it's going to be a low-scoring
Well,
game.
no. Like, this is what I was talking
Joe
to my friend.
Flacco versus Mitchell Trubisky.
This is what I was telling my friend. Like, I think you kind of realize this against, like, the old Packers defense.
Yeah.
I mean, the old Packers offense. Once the Seahawks figured out how to stop it, every other team did the exact same thing. I think the Packers kind of showed what you have to do with Trubisky. You don't rush him. You just put two linebackers spying him so he can't run. So he has to stay in the pocket and throw. And he makes his own mistakes.
Yeah.
Because he doesn't want to stay still. He wants to be able to move.
Right.
So you just spy. And they have actually three with Derek Wolfe.
Yeah.
They have Von Miller and Bradley Chubb against a bad Bears line to just kind of watch Mitch. And they also have a really good corner in Chris Harris.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And don't they have Stuart Cravens, too?
I think so, yeah.
So they have enough secondary that are going to... Plus, they have Vic. If Amos was able to predict what Trubisky will do, Vic Fangio's probably like, oh, wait, I'm playing him?
I'm playing Trubisky? Good. I don't know. I feel like...
I mean, the Broncos' offense sucks ass.
So this might be another 10-3
But
game.
also, you got to put into effect where they're playing, too.
Denver.
Yeah. And that's kind of really hard to play early in the season.
Yeah.
I think the Broncos end up maybe like 10-3, maybe 14-10. It's going to be like really low.
Another, like, yeah. I don't know. I feel like that Chicago defense is going to do enough. I mean, if Oakland's offense could do what they did against Denver's defense, then I think Trubisky will be... They'll do just
Carr's
enough.
better than Trubisky.
I understand that, but I think the Bears' defense is better than the Broncos' defense. And that's what I think it's going to come down to. I think it's going to be like a 14-10 game. It's still going to be an offensive struggle.
Yeah.
But I just feel like Chicago will just have enough.
I don't know. Just because, number one, Burton's saying he's probably not going to play again. Because his groin still hurts. Shaheen fucking drops a ball and then tries to convince the refs it was a fumble. And the refs just looking at him like, what the fuck are you talking about? And he's like trying to convince him that it was a fumble. And the worst part is the Packers player picked it up.
Yeah,
so he's trying to convince him that he fumbled to give it to the other team.
Unbelievable.
Because he didn't want to think they dropped the ball.
Exactly.
But yeah, Shaheen's awful. I just find it hilarious that when he was drafted, all my friends are like, oh, he's going to be the next Gronk. He's the same body, he's like same speed, and he like can't even catch a ball.
This guy sucks. New Orleans at LA Rams.
I say Saints.
I got the Saints too. I think they get revenge from the NFC title game. Philadelphia at Atlanta.
Atlanta's a fucking mess.
Atlanta's a fucking shit show. Cleveland at New York Jets for the Monday Nighter.
Jets.
I'm going Cleveland. We have a lot different.
Let's go another bro. Darnold is gonna fuck.
Bro Darnold's gonna fuck up. I don't know.
I mean, Baker's a good bro too,
but all right. I want to say something, and this is not good for me at all. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I have 12 road teams to win this week. I think I'm fucked. I think I'm fucked.
And mostly different picks from me, so if one of us ends up right on the picks, the others might as well not pick the next 15 weeks.
Seriously. Well, yeah, so there's my picks. I don't know what to say about that, but yeah, that's scary. Yeah.
I don't think there's going to be any way the Bears are going to move the ball on Denver. Just because, number one, Nagy doesn't want to run the ball.
And it's
no matter how much he says he doesn't want to.
Yeah.
So, like, even if they try running, it's going to be like maybe 5 to 10 tries, and then he's going to go back to throwing it 60 times a game. And if you just expect those two awful tackles they have to fucking stand up with Chubb and Miller when they couldn't stop Preston Smith and Zadarius Smith, or even Kenny Clark, who's not even a pass rusher, he's a run stopper. If they collapsed against them, they're not going to be able to stop the pass rush of the Broncos, especially in Denver. It's just, I could see it being extremely low scoring just because Flacco sucks ass.
Yes. Probably.
But I could also see it probably being like 3-0 or 6-3.
Another, low scoring game for sure.
No, and if that happens too, if it's 2 weeks in a row,
I want to see the over.
If it's 2 weeks in a row that the Bears don't score a touchdown, what do the sports people in Chicago start saying about the Bears offense? Because they're still like, oh, it's going to be great. It's just it had a bad week, but Mitch is still the best quarterback that we've seen. If they go 2 weeks in a row where they can't score a touchdown.
Wow, I think that's high. The over-under is 40.5 points.
So
they're saying that the game is going to be like 24 to 16 type shit.
Way under.
Or 20 to 21 to 20.
I feel
way under. Way under on that one.
If the over-under was like 12, I'd probably still say under.
Holy
What if it's like 0-0 and they just keep throwing interceptions to each other?
Tie. 0-0 tie. Yeah, if Chicago can't get a fucking touchdown this week, they are in deep shit.
Or if they can't get another turnover. They should be able to get one because it's Flacco. But if they don't, because that's, like I said the week before, that's what their defense is built on. If they don't force turnovers, they don't win.
Yeah.
And they weren't able to do it against the Packers.
Nope.
Despite Rodgers not having a good game.
I know.
Until the one touchdown he threw to Jimmy Graham.
Yeah, that's about it.
And the pass to Scantling.
Pass to Scantling.
But, if the Bears can't force a turnover, they don't end up winning.
You're right.
And, Flacco, for as average as he is, he doesn't really tend to have those games where he throws 4 or 5 interceptions.
He doesn't.
He'll
never
usually
really
just
did.
kind of Alex Smith it down the field.
Yes.
He's just game manager.
Yes, he's a game manager. He'll go for 260 yards,
go for
2 touchdowns, and no picks. Or 1 pick.
Those 3-yard passes and just hope his receivers run through.
Exactly.
But that's kind of what he does. And the Bears defense, when they get the turnovers, it's the people trying to do those huge ass fucking Hail Marys down the field and shit. And they just time it right. And I don't think against the Broncos they're going to be able to do it. They might force Flacco to fumble on a sack or Lindsley to fumble, but besides that, I don't really see them forcing too many turnovers against the Broncos. And if they don't, once again, if you don't give the Bears extra offensive chances for Mitch to figure out how to be a quarterback, then you're not going to win. And Bears have no run game at all. Either it's
they need to fix that.
Either it's out of Nagy just not wanting to run the ball, or just they don't have the right players.
Right.
And even their offensive line, who last year was so good, is now starting to get run over. Kyle Long, either it was the injuries or whatever, he's slowing down. Both the tackles, Leno and who's the other one, Massey, both are easily beaten on pass runs. Like I said, their defense is terrifying because it's really amazing, especially with Mac.
Yeah.
But if they don't turn it over, the Bears aren't going to win because the Bears' offense isn't going to be good enough to do anything. Because the funny thing is, the Bears fans tried to act like their offense last year, because it was doing decent around middle of the year, was like dominating teams.
Yeah,
but it wasn't. And like I brought it back to saying, all the Bears fans used to fucking hate Trustman, but that's an offense that actually dominated teams the first year.
Yeah, it did. It did. Yeah, and Trustman was god awful, but yeah, you're right.
That was an offense that like
scary.
confused teams that like that they didn't know what was going. Nagy's offense isn't like, and that's the weird thing. Like when we were watching the game, I even told you during, like, even though LaFleur's offense wasn't great the first game, I think a lot of it was rust with Rodgers and like not knowing like what to call in what situations, but also he threw a lot more of like trick formations and trick motions than Nagy did. And that's what Nagy's supposed to do.
Yeah.
On a defense. And
a lot of trick formations and all that.
And Nagy kind of used the excuse today during his press conference that, we weren't prepared for some of the looks the Packers defense gave to us. But it was the same looks that the Packers basically used last year.
Yeah.
Was the one linebacker and like the 6 defensive backs.
Yeah.
Where because of injuries they only threw Martinez out there. And that's not even going to be the worst of it for when teams play the Packers defense. Because once Oren Burks gets back, who's basically a safety playing linebacker, and they put him there instead of Blake Martinez, and Burks could actually cover people.
Right.
That's gonna like cause more problems.
Yeah,
I just, for as good as Nagy was at like the weird plays, like he had his version of the Philly special and everything last year too. When you have to call just a straightforward game,
yeah,
I don't think he can. And when people start figuring out how to just not fall for all of his movement and everything, I just don't think he's gonna be that great of a coach for them. And like my friend laughed at me for saying this, but honestly, when they were showing the Mount Rushmore of all the Bears people,
yeah,
and they put Sid Luckman instead of Cutler, like I basically like that should have been Cutler. And I also said Cutler would have been better in this offense than Trubisky.
You're right. You're right. No, you're right. Jay Cutler can arguably
because Cutler could stay in the pocket. Like Cutler can move if he has to. He doesn't want to.
Right.
But he doesn't really want to do anything.
No, he just wants to smoke cigs. And
I'd say before Minshew, Cutler was the biggest bro of them all.
Yes, he gave no fucks.
Cutler was the biggest bro quarterback there ever.
It's like, go deep, bitches. Just I get it up there, man.
But like Cutler would have been like the perfect for this offense, because what he needed to, he could just stand in the pocket and be like, "Hi, Allen Robinson."
Yeah, hi. Go get it, Allen.
Because that's what he used to do with Marshall,
right?
And Martellus.
Exactly.
But that's the other big drag down with the Bears offense is it's showing the big weakness when you don't have Burton playing.
Right.
And if Burton doesn't want to play or just can't at this point, like it's going to be really easy for a defense like Denver to just pounce on them.
Right.
So I just like it's going to be a pathetic game, much like the Thursday night one was offensively. But even though as much as I think Joe Flacco is the most average quarterback to ever fucking play football, besides Eli Manning, I trust him to randomly put a touchdown drive together.
You trust Joe Flacco
more than I trust Mitch.
Oh my god! Oh my god! I heard it all.
Especially because they have a better tight end. They have Noah Fant and Jake Butt,
right?
Who are both a lot way better than Shaheen could be.
Exactly.
So yeah, I think it's gonna be easy for Denver to and Vic to figure out whatever the fuck Mitch does well, which really isn't much. But you think Mitch is a great quarterback, and the Lions are going to the playoffs?
We'll see.
That's what you said. The Lions are going to the playoffs.
I got
and that Mitch was a good quarterback. Those were your words. Mitch is good.
This is James.
And this
is the fun list. And Joe Flacco is going to be better
than Mitch Trubisky. So that's not a really high ceiling. That's maybe like a 1 foot ceiling.
It's higher for me, baby. Let's